Well, let's ask Sidney Finkelstein. He's professor of management at the Tuck School of Business at Dartmouth. He's also author of the book, Why Smart Executives Fail. Professor, thanks for joining us. You know, the big announcement, much anticipated, the timing a bit of surprise. But is it right for BP to wait until October to have a new leader take the helm?
Well, first of all, I think the timing coming right now, when it looks like hopefully the well is finally going to be capped and all that oil is going to stop spewing into the Gulf, that makes sense to me. The timing of October 1st, on the other hand, is not quite so clear. If it's the time for the transition, what exactly is Tony Hayward going to be doing over the next 2 or 3 months? To me, it seems like a face-saving move. Not obvious why you need to do it from a business point of view. But you know, if that's what it takes to move on at BP and begin this important leadership transition, then so be it.
Now, this is far beyond a PR problem. I mean, there are billions of dollars in costs. There are tens of thousands of jobs at risk in the Gulf Coast, all in the wake of this disaster. But talk to me about BP and how it rebuilds itself strategically here. Is this enough that a change of face, a change of campaign can revitalize?
Well, obviously, it was absolutely essential to have someone at the top that's different in terms of the crisis management side of the story. But as you say, there's way more that needs to be done. BP has been attacked left and right, and to a large degree, they deserve a lot of what's happened. But there's a lot of really talented people in that company, and their morale, I'm sure, is shot. They need to be re-energized. I think some of the early moves we've just heard about, the plan to sell assets, probably the right thing to do to start to slim down. But fundamentally, you know, the future of BP is going to be in the United States. Bob Dudley really got strong credentials for that. Is that the right thing?
On that point, though, is it the right thing to move Tony Hayward aside, not to take him out entirely, to put him in a non-executive board position for a Russian joint venture? Is that enough of a decapitation, as some would call it?
Yeah, it's a bit puzzling why they wanted to send him out to Siberia, but perhaps that's also part of that face-saving move. He had his time, he had his chance, he did some good things, he oversaw a company that did something really terrible, and at that stage, you know, I don't think there's a lot of upside for Tony Hayward at BP.
Yeah, you say you don't think he'll ever get a job as an executive again.
I'm not so sure he will. I've studied for years very senior executives and CEOs that have been at the top of organizations that have stumbled very badly, and while most of them turn out to be perfectly fine afterwards, financially at least, it would be a tough argument to make to a board of directors to say, you know, we want to hire the person that was CEO at the time of the biggest oil spill in the history of America and maybe in the world. It's a very tough argument to make. Go ahead.
To be fair, though, he was there for 30 years. He was a geologist. He wasn't sort of, you know, a socially savvy person, to put it very politely, in some ways. I mean, he was about the numbers. He was about the performance. Can he sell that for himself?
Well, his track record was one of cost-cutting. That's what he was known for, and actually he was hailed in the press for a couple of years as really doing some amazing work at BP. But I think what has transpired is we've seen a trade-off between cost-cutting and safety concerns, and it's clear that up and down the organization, the culture of safety never really took hold, despite some of the promises that he made. So it's not that he's not a talented person in a variety of different dimensions, but you know, there's a public image, there's a reputation story, and there's the fact that at the end of the day, it is Tony Hayward who was the CEO and acted in the way that he did after the crisis hit, making all sorts of statements that are now, you know, legend on YouTube. That's a tough thing for a board of directors to say, let's bring that person in.
All right. Thank you, Professor, for giving us your perspective.